turnouts at basketball games and went up to the student section, and they were all excited. That was fun.
Today on Winthrop Close Up, President Mahoney talks about his first 2 years.
And see how Winthrop is taking a break from tradition.
Coming up, see what brought hundreds of students on Winthrop's campus.
Welcome to a special edition of Winthrop Close Up, where we bring you the best of the season. I'm William Richard.
And I'm Zach Grieger. It isn't the end of the year for just Winthrop students. President Dan Mahoney is also finishing out his first year as university president. I was able to get an interview from the president about his first year on campus.
It's been great. We've enjoyed coming here. It's been good for my family, which was a big concern when you move kids who are teenagers. You always hope that they adjust well, but they've adjusted really well. The campus, the community has been incredibly welcoming, so we've been real excited to be here, and it's been a fantastic first year. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of things within the community. Personally, I've been involved with Rock Hill Economic Development Corporation, so trying to get involved with some of those boards and meeting the people in the community. We've tried to do that to reach out, but we've also tried to go to events within the community as a way of reaching out. And then, like you said, with some of the different individuals in the community, the Goods, who've been just great for us, and they were really generous in allowing us to use the artwork in the home. So again, making those connections within the community has been a big focus for us. The biggest things usually are the things involve students. So I mean, some of the times I think when we had great turnouts at basketball games and went up to the student section and they were all excited, that was fun. Participating in the Martin Luther King Day of Service was a great experience for me, a chance to interact with the students, and what a fantastic turnout that was. So a lot of those things, and watching the students perform. I mean, that's been, we've gone to a lot of the plays, musical performances, all of that's been a lot of fun. Just, again, we've been excited to be here. It's been a good transition, and we're really looking forward to finish up that strategic plan, and that'll give us the direction going forward, and I think things get really fun at that point.
Dr. Mahoney says he hopes to expand both enrollment and fundraising for the university in the next 5 years.
Another big change will be seen at this year's commencement ceremony. Reporter Crystal Thomison has more on what seniors can expect in May.
Semester, the university announced that the upcoming May undergraduate commencement will be split into 2 ceremonies, a decision with mixed reviews.
It's mostly about us, and we're the ones who are graduating, so I think that getting our input on it would be a good idea.
If it's more efficient for the university, that's great, but if you have to go to more than one ceremony, that kind of sucks for the people who are going to see it.
The College of Arts and Sciences and the College of Visual and Performing Arts will have their commencement at 10 a.m. The College of Business will join the College of Education later that day at 3. The split ceremonies were first announced in October. However, the times for both ceremonies were only announced earlier this semester.
Them notifying people sooner would have been a better idea because of if people have to travel and stuff.
Something was going to happen because of the size of the crowd. Either we were going to split the ceremony or we were going to go to tickets.
I'm here outside of Records and Registration, where each student is required to fill out this application form to graduate. The office uses these as records to determine how many in total will be graduating, as well as how many from each respective college.
So it puts them at almost an even numbers. We did VPA and Arts and Sciences in the morning because they will be the slightly larger ceremony.
Despite the shift in circumstances, there will be plenty of pomp for both commencements. Crystal Thomison, Winthrop Close Up.
For more information about commencement, visit winthrop.edu/recandreg/commencement.
An annual event, Worldwide Winthrop Day, is known for its high energy, especially by the incoming freshmen. Crystal Thomison takes us there to see the fun.
I'm here at the Student Life Showcase, where various clubs and organizations on Winthrop are ready to woo on them.
After an academic showcase in the morning, hundreds of high school seniors and their families were able to experience the more social side of the university.
A good way for students to kind of really get to know Winthrop and really kind of get involved in it and become a part of it.
I already know that I'm going to be determined and on top of my schoolwork, so it was more better to see what I can get involved in on top of that.
The fun continued throughout the campus, where students enjoyed music, food, and various novelties. All visiting students had already been accepted, but for some, the visit made them more eager for the fall.
I love Winthrop Day. I knew a long time ago that I was going to come here, and this is just making it better and making me more excited for when I actually do move in.
Winthrop Ambassador Jordan Lewis spent the day escorting and assisting various families. For Lewis, Winthrop Day is one of his favorite duties in the position.
Well, Winthrop Day is really our biggest day of the year, and it's really a culmination of all the other things we do all year long, and this is our big push to get people enrolled to come in the fall.
Lewis, in particular, is excited to know which students he'll see in the fall.
Every fall, we get to see everything that we did the previous year, we get to see all that stuff put into fruition, so it's a really good experience.
Many here in the Winthrop community hope that the visiting seniors and their families will return in the fall as Winthrop Eagles. Reporting from the West Center, this has been Crystal Thomison, Winthrop Close Up. Now back to you.
For more information on admission events, visit winthrop.edu/admissions. Coming up on Winthrop Close Up, go inside the 40-year anniversary of Winthrop's Model UN program.
Find out the rich history behind Rock Hill's most popular event, next on Winthrop Close Up.
Welcome back. Students from all over North and South Carolina gathered at Winthrop for the 40th anniversary of the Model United Nations program. I went behind the diplomacy to bring you the story. There were over 15 high schools present on Winthrop's campus in order to take part in the 40th anniversary of the Model United Nations program.
And I think that 40 years is big because a lot of things don't last 40 years, and the world has changed so much.
The program takes place over 3 days, with each high school being assigned a different country to represent in various committees, with help from a Winthrop student. The Model United Nations is much like a stage or a theater production, with each delegate assigned to a specific group to act out diplomacy in their own unique way.
Well, I always tell my teammates that Model UN is kind of half acting and then half knowledge about the world. I just really like integrating the knowledge that I have of global issues with an attempt to try to get across my agenda. Although the program mostly focuses on when the high schoolers are actually on campus and debating, there is a great deal of setup and preparation that is done before the conference can even occur.
It's just making sure that, for me personally, just all the high schools come and that we don't have any high schools that have double countries or any issues. We had a high school drop with 4 countries and we had to figure that out.
With the attack in Brussels and Obama's meeting in Cuba, international politics is on the front of many people's minds, so having informed and engaged citizens make programs like Model UN important for the future. If you want to learn more about the program or join, visit www.winthrop.edu/modelun.
The Model UN program is not the only thing attracting people to Rock Hill. Emily Gill hopped over to learn more about the history of the Come See Me Festival.
Over 50 years ago, C.H. Albright, then the mayor of Rock Hill, decided to start the Come See Me Festival.
He wanted to see people come to Rock Hill, and it just, on a cuff, he says, come see me, and it worked. And it's still working, and I think it's going to work from now on.
Part of what has been working is the iconic mascot, Glenn the Frog, designed by Vernon Grant.
Vernon Grant was an illustrator. If you've ever heard of Snap, Crackle, and Pop of the Rice Krispies, he designed those. He did a lot of design work back in the 20s and 30s, 40s.
Glenn the Frog, the mascot of the Come See Me Festival, is named after this place, Glencairn Gardens, one of the oldest and most beloved landmarks here in Rock Hill.
The garden has been part of the festival and community for years, but the landmarks are not what brings the community together.
And then for this to be 53 years strong of relationships, friends growing up together. I did it when I was a kid, and now I'm here with my children who are doing it with the children of my friends. So I think that's where the real sense of community value comes from.
And that value will last for a lifetime. Emily Gill, Winthrop Close Up.
To find out more about the festival, visit comeseeme.org. Don't touch that remote, there's much more ahead on Close Up.
The prevention of Zika beaches a spray away. Find out coming up.
Welcome back to Winthrop Close Up. The CDC warned pregnant women to avoid travel to Latin America due to the Zika outbreak. Reporter Daniel James shows us how to protect yourselves against the virus.
According to the CDC, the mosquito-borne illness Zika
is a possible threat to pregnant women, but less likely to impact the general public. Only 20% of those infected suffer any symptoms. Those who do experience flu-like symptoms that pass in about a week, but the main concern is potential birth defect microcephaly.
There has been an exponential increase in birth defects of mothers who may have contracted the virus when they were pregnant.
Microcephaly is a condition in which the baby's head is smaller than normal. It can cause seizures, delay in development, and lack of balance. Try to stay indoors with windows closed as temperatures rise. Air-conditioned rooms lower mosquitoes' chances of locating a host. When going outside, the CDC recommends wearing long sleeves and to use a bug spray with at least 20 to 30% DEET as the active ingredient on both the skin and the clothing.
We are continuing the precautions we've always had for mosquito protection.
The good news is that chances of an outbreak in the U.S. are low.
There's a few reasons, though, why we don't expect there to be big outbreaks, like in the Carolinas, for example, and that's because we have municipal spraying programs, central air, basic sanitation that prevents these mosquitoes from being here.
There are 4 tests pending in South Carolina following trips to affected areas, but 11 tests in the state have already come back negative. Daniel James, Winthrop Close Up.
For more information about Zika, visit cdc.gov.
You know, I'm going to make sure I have plenty of off spray. I don't want to take any chances.
I know, man. I've got a duffel bag full of stuff wherever I go, and I'm telling you, traveling, road trips, everything this summer, it's going to have a can with me at all times.
You got to stay protected out there. It's coming up after the break. We have more of the best stories of the season. Stay with us.
Today on Winthrop Close Up, what Rock Hill plans to do to attract the artistic community.
Learn more about how the Queen is sharing her crown.
Welcome to Winthrop Close Up. I'm Zach Grieger.
And I'm William Richard. Already the second largest city in the Southeast, the Queen City is expanding by an estimated 44 people per day. I went downtown, where growth is happening as we speak.
As of 2013, the population was just 800,000, but that number will be drastically increasing in the near future.
Yeah, the numbers we've been using in this foreseeable horizon, which will be in the next 20, 30 years, is another around 400,000 people. So it's the equivalent, we like to say, is equivalent to adding another city to Charlotte.
With a solid mix of culture and entertainment, Charlotte has been welcoming a younger demographic.
A lot of folks coming are young people who are coming here to look for jobs. And so I think it is like almost half the people who come here are under the age of 35.
While Charlotte's popularity may have reached national levels, many residents won't notice the growth at first glance.
Growing up in Charlotte, you really won't notice that your city's growing because you've been in that one neighborhood or that one spot. You really won't notice it until you watch the news and you see how the city is viewed nationally.
With a population of 800,000, Charlotte is already among the top 20 cities in the U.S. in terms of size. But Charlotte could reach a total of 1 million people by mid-2029.
Charlotte is not the only growing city. Rock Hill is rapidly expanding as well. I talked to city planners to find out how Rock Hill is using art to promote tourism.
The York County area has made huge leaps in recent years to attract tourists to the area, in numbers reaching over 155,000 people in multiple ways.
So if you look at what our attractions are doing, our hotels, our restaurants, I think you can see certainly a huge increase.
One of the biggest expansion areas for Rock Hill is within their art tourism area. This becomes especially true with the creation of the new Catawba Sound Stages, which hope to bring new movie studios to the Rock Hill area.
The Arts Council and the City of Rock Hill partnered last year to apply as the first designated cultural district in the state of South Carolina, and we did receive that designation.
A lot of the events and shows put on by the Art Council of York County are created through grants or by lending the 3 Art Council facilities to be used by other organizations.
The Arts Council, they always put on the Underexposed Film Festival. That festival has grown tremendously, so that also helped just move it around the county and get more visitors in for the different films.
If you want to go to some of the art events put on by the York County Arts Council, you can check out their website at www.yorkcountyarts.com. Still to come, what happens to food that students don't eat?
Eagle sports involve so much more than just basketball. Find out more next on Winthrop Close Up.
Welcome back. Eagle basketball is not the only successful team on the campus. Several other sports deserve their time in the limelight. Emily Gill reports from the field.
Here at the Winthrop University Recreation Complex, most fans come to see one thing, Eagle basketball at the Coliseum. However, there's a lot of forgotten sports, including softball, tennis, and track and field. I talked to the athletes of those teams to find out how they believe the university can rediscover those forgotten sports.
We don't have like posters or anything going on on campus. I think that would help a lot, and we have to teach the culture of tennis around because not a lot of people know tennis.
Track and field has over 60 athletes, but many students would be hard-pressed to name one of them.
Just getting out with the community, trying to involve, get more interactive with our community, so therefore people can understand that there's a track team and that we are involved in the community and we want everybody to come support us the way we try to support them.
Softball is seeking online ways to reach out to potential fans.
So if they saw more on social media and more of the social media everybody goes on, like more towards Instagram, a Snapchat maybe, getting a Snapchat account, I think that would help us.
We're all cheering for the same team, one Winthrop. Go Eagles from the athletes, the fans, and from us at Winthrop Close Up. Back to you guys in the studio.
To see the athletic schedule, visit www.winthropeagles.com.
Sports are not all that go unnoticed on campus. Daniel James brings you a report on the cafeteria food that goes uneaten.
March 3rd, Thomison served over 1,500 people, but 285 pounds of food was wasted. 285 pounds is the equivalent of 1,140 quarter pounders. Over 1,000 burgers that no one gets to eat.
When you go into Thomison at like 6:50, you're 10 minutes away from the dining hall being closed, and there are just like trayfuls of food that are just sitting there and no one's eating. There's like a dozen people in the dining hall, and there's food enough to feed like 100 people.
Mallory Crimmy is in the process of starting a chapter of the Food Recovery Network on campus. The Food Recovery Network takes the food that dining services would ordinarily throw out at the end of the day to a charitable organization that can distribute it to the community.
So when you start looking at sustainability, it's much more layered than just thinking about recycling or driving an efficient car or using an electric car. There's a lot of different considerations.
One of these considerations is food insecurity. According to the USDA, 49 million people lived in food insecure households in 2013. This initiative hopes to provide for those in need.
Winthrop we're a pretty good school, and we're a very green school. I think there's still a lot of things we can do.
The Bring Your Own Cup campaign and the Food Recovery Initiative show that faculty and students are working toward a more sustainable campus. I'm Daniel James, Winthrop Close Up.
If you're interested in the Food Recovery Network, contact Mallory Crimmy at crimmym3@winthrop.edu. You know, I'm really glad to see Winthrop working hard to make us a better campus.
Yeah, I mean, it's really great, especially with, you know, the big homeless problem that's around here and all these people displaced from their homes. It's really great to see that, you know, Winthrop's doing a lot to give back to them and not waste all this food that we have. So.
That's true. Anything to help the community. Yeah. Well, keep watching. Up next, I take you behind the scenes of our very own Winthrop Close Up. Welcome back. Over the years, Winthrop Close Up has become a home to young broadcasters looking to find their niche in the industry. Today, we give you a backstage pass.
Inside Winthrop's halls are students waiting for their close-up.
Winthrop Close Up is, well, the technical definition is advanced television production class where you get experience in front of the camera and also behind. It's a weekly news show that we put on here at Winthrop's campus, doing sports, feature stories, and news in general.
As the capstone class for broadcast majors, students have the chance to work in front and behind the camera. Professor Mark Nortz believes this opportunity helps students figure out their future careers.
One of my favorite sayings that a student had was, the best thing about this class was not only did it show me what I wanted to do, but it definitely showed me what I didn't want to do. So by having them rotate through all these different positions, they can see what they definitely want to specialize in and what really isn't for them.
From editing scripts to being a floor director, students have plenty of opportunities to learn about positions inside news production. One week they could be behind the scenes, and the next, on the big screen.
I think just the switching positions keeps you on your toes and all of that, and you get to appreciate the other positions. So maybe one week you're frustrated with what's going on in the studio, and then next week you're in the studio, so you understand that situation a lot more.
To keep track of shows and stories, watch every Friday on CN2 Extra, or follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Winthrop Close Up.
If you would like to learn more about CloseUp, follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Winthrop Close Up.
Look, it's been a long year. We've been in this class a year, basically everybody except for Daniel James is back there. But I think from all of us, I think from the bottom of my heart, I want to say thank you to Dr. Meter and Nortz for helping us through this year.
You know, it's been an awesome experience this last 2 semesters. You know, I know that I've grown a lot here and just getting ready for the future. So, man, I'm going to miss it.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be hard to not be in this class anymore, but that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. And with that, dab on them.